Welcome to the 5-Minute Webinar. My name is John Gilroy, and I'll be your moderator. The title of today's presentation is 12 Ways to Promote Your Podcast in 5 Minutes. Well, why am I even talking about this? Podcasting has become very, very popular. If you go to Google Trends and type in podcast, you'll see that podcasting has gotten just off the charts. In fact, in 2019, there was a record set for the number of podcasts that were launched. Over 246,000 podcasts were launched in 2019. If you have a company podcast and you're not satisfied with the number of downloads, why don't you listen to the next 12 points I'm going to make, 12 free ways to promote your podcast. Number 1, include your podcast in your LinkedIn profile. There are 722 million people on LinkedIn. There's got to be a couple of listeners there for your podcast. All you have to do is mention the title of your podcast in your description and let the link go back to your show notes page. Number 2, pin a tweet. You should be doing many tweets to promote your podcast. Just grab one of those and pin it to the top of your profile. That way, if someone sees a tweet, goes to your profile, they'll see that you have a podcast. Number 3, it's absolutely free. Just take a picture of someone who is a guest on your podcast. Put images in your show notes page. For some reason, humans like to see pictures of other humans on the podcast. You very easily, doesn't cost you a dime. Number 4, become a guest on another podcast. Studies have shown that the average podcast listener listens to 6 podcasts. So if your audience is people who enjoy things from the audio perspective, what you want to do is become a guest on another podcast. That's a free, easy way that you can use to drive audience. Number 5, homepage mention. Here are my top 4 pages for my website. It's probably going to be similar to yours. The homepage about blog and pricing. If most people are going to your homepage, let them know you have a podcast. Good example is with a company called Fed Insider. You go to their homepage, it shows that they have podcasts. Number 6, refer to previous shows during the interview. Wow, Ralph Burns does such a great job on this on the Perpetual Traffic podcast. During the middle of the podcast, he'll say, in episode number 122, I mentioned the concept of an online course. It works well. It doesn't cost a dime. It's a free mention, and it'll get more listening time for you. Number 7, email. I think email is the key to growing a podcast. You can send email out every time an episode is released. Convince and Convert's got a podcast called Social Pros. This is Jay Bayer's site, and it says, would you like to get more content like this? Sign up for an email list. It's free. MailChimp is free. So is Constant Contact. Number 8. Hashtags are not created equal. CEO could mean Chief Executive Officer. CEO could mean Chief Evaluation Officer. It could mean something like cute, elegant, and optimist. So don't waste your effort on Twitter unless you choose the correct hashtags. Number 9, if you're going to choose the correct hashtags, you might as well correct the size. So this is a tweet I did in October. I tried to put this image into the tweet and it failed. So make sure you have the right size in order to have punch to your promotion on Twitter, absolutely free. Number 10, link to previous episodes with hyperlinks in your show notes page. I talked about doing this verbally. You can do this textually on your show notes page. This is a guy named Rick Mulready. He has a podcast called The Art of Online Business, and he does this very, very well. Number 11, quotes are very, very powerful. I've sent over 11,000 tweets. Every month I see what trends the best. It's always a quote. I interviewed Vince Cerf. We talked about the internet to Mars, and his quote was, the speed of light is too slow. These are very, very powerful and free because you have the text from your podcast already. Number 12, a mid-roll read. In the middle of your interview, why don't you just take a break and say, if you're enjoying this podcast, you go to our show notes page and download a PDF, which will give you 5 lessons on data centers. Download a video, which will talk about heat distribution in data centers. Have something valuable for your listeners in exchange for email and help grow your podcast. Doesn't cost a dime. My name is John Gilroy. I'm the managing partner at the Oakmont Group, LLC.com. If you'd like to read articles about podcast promotion, come on down. In 2021, I will be putting on a 12-hour course called How to Promote a Podcast. Go to the website, go to the pricing page. You can sign up on the wait list. The next time you see a microphone, go forth and podcast.